In chapter 6, you talk about balance. Doesn't balance interfere with success?
I think balance actually leads to more success, not less success. When you are balanced, you are much more sharper, much more dynamic, much more creative, much more fulfilled, which leads to a deeper sense of success and also the energy to continue to do what you do and to have a long-term sustainability around it.
Now, do you define balance as just having time for work, family, and a little bit of time for yourself? Is that what balance means?
Balance means different things to different people. For some people, it is that balance between work and home. For some people, it is basically spiritual and material. For some, it is basically being centered so you can navigate your life around your core values, principles, and beliefs. So it means different things to different people, but whatever balance means to you, if you're able to achieve that, then that allows you to be happy with your life. Basically, if you look at it, we have our, the four tires in the car. We have our emotional, we have our spiritual, we have our physical, and we have our financial, right? So if those four parts are looked after, the emotional looks after the family and our emotional needs. The financial looks after our needs to be able to live and have a comfortable lifestyle. The spiritual is after for our beyond, and our physical is our health.
We hear a lot about balance, but how do people get time for it? Because with family commitments, work commitments, juggling acts, how do you get time or make time for it?
As I mentioned earlier in one of my other chapters, if you do the hour of power in the morning, meditation 20 minutes, exercise 20 minutes, need something uplifting 20 minutes, you invest that hour. It's not an expense like a profit and loss account, it's a balance sheet item investment. That 1 hour you invest in the morning significantly enhances the next 23 hours. You get much more done in less time. So why wouldn't you not invest that 1 hour? And similarly, when you spend quality time with your family, with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, you find that because you're so content with what you've done with your self needs and your family needs, you go to work much more engaged. Otherwise, you're at work but thinking about home. When you're home, you think about work, and it's a diluted energy.
Now, what tips do you have to create a balanced life?
I think the key is to start with what is most important to you. I say work is never going to stop. If you work 24 hours, 7 days a week for all your life, work will still be there. So work never finishes. So start with what is most important to you, your health, for example, exercise, your family time, which is very important to you, your spirituality, your meditation, your reading. And then what's left can go to work, because work is always going to be there. It never stops, right? And you've got 168 hours a week. If you sleep 50 hours a week, you still got 118 hours left. If you commute 18 hours, you still got 100 hours left. You spend 7 hours doing the hour of power, meditation, exercise, reading. You spend 21 hours with your family, 3 hours a day. That's 28 hours. You're still left with 72 hours in the week. So there's enough time in the week for everything. It's a question of being focused, not wasting time, watching too much television, doing things that are not going to add too much value to you. That's most important.
Some would say, why not work as much as you can in your young age and then have a balanced life once you retire? What do you say to that?
First of all, there's no guarantee that you'll have a long life. Hopefully you do, but what if something happens to your health that you cannot enjoy your wealth? So the idea is there's a analogy whereby that when you break a family, it's very hard to bring it back. It's like a glass, right? But with work, it's like a rubber ball. The more you drop it, it comes back. So it never stops. The work never stops, no matter how much you do it. But if your health is gone, it's very hard to recover. So if you don't look after your other parts of your life, then it's very difficult to catch up at the end.
In chapter 8, it discusses the power within. Tell us a little bit about what this means. What's the power within?
Every human being is created as a very powerful person. If you look at the vastness of the universe, if you look at our whole universe, there are many, many more universes which are bigger than the universe that we know. Similarly, we may be small physically, but we have enormous power within ourselves. Rumi, the Sufi poet, gives an example of your eyes. When you look at somebody's eyes, they are very small, but they can see the stars which are trillions of miles away. So just like your eyes are small and you can see trillions of miles away, you may be small physically, but you have enormous power inside you. The great, scientists, physicists, Newton, Einstein, even they did not use their full capacity, their full potential. If you were to live 10 lifetimes, you still won't exhaust the kind of potential you have. So that's so much power you have within you. But unfortunately, most people never tap into this genius that they have for many reasons. Maybe it's reasons that they never knew what their birthday gift was, what they were born with, for them not being focused in their life, for them wasting time, whatever it was. People are unable to tap into the genius that they have. Also the belief, the confidence that I have it within me. And when you don't believe in yourself, nobody else believes in you. If you think small, you remain small. What the mind conceives, the mind achieves. If you go to the ocean with one bucket, the ocean only gives you one bucket of water. So if you believe in yourself as a very small person, that you don't have that power, then you're unable to use it.
Now, society a lot of the time defines power from the outside through money, status, friends, power over others. So what do you have to say about that? Because power within is very intangible.
Yes, so most of us are externally driven, our power based on my title, the car I drive, the clothes I wear, the house I live in, what people think about me. That's where our life revolves. Now remember, when you lose what you have outside you, where does your power go? But if your power is within, people can take away your possessions, they can take away your other things, but that power within always allows you to bounce back and get much more, because nobody can take it away from you, what is within you. The external stuff comes and goes. Plus, the external stuff doesn't make you happy. If you look at life today, we have more longevity is higher, there is more money, there is more material success, and yet there is more depression, more suicides, more alcoholism. Why is it the case that the more we have, the more we go into things that don't feed our soul? Is because those external things don't give us long-term gratification. They don't give us inner gratification. What gives you inner gratification is when you make a difference to somebody's life, when you are able to make a contribution that has an impact on society. You feel much, much more happier.
If people have so much power within, why do people still feel lonely and so weak and alone?
Very good question. It's about disconnecting with your spirit. When you're not connected to your spirit, you can't draw from your spirit. So you look for outside things to satisfy your loneliness or your depression or your feeling of hurt. And so what you do is you go into abuse, alcohol, drugs, other things that makes you feel that this will satisfy my needs. The reality is you have within you enormous capacity to tap into, to connect with, so that you can draw from it when you need it. See, everybody has power. Some people use power wisely, some people use power unwisely, and guess what? Some people never use any power at all. So where do you stand? Do you use your power wisely? Do you use your power unwisely? Or you never use your power at all? People like Hitler and stuff use their power for not very noble things and hurt people and killed people and did things like that, which was detrimental to society. And some people use their power like Mother Teresa and Terry Fox and Nelson Mandela to really create positive change.
So what are the steps to tapping into the power within?
So the first step is to realize that I do have power. Yes, I may not have been successful in my young age. It doesn't matter. Steve Jobs was not successful in his young age, nor was Bill Gates. We all have had, I was unsuccessful. Many other people have been unsuccessful. But the past does not equal the future. So the first step is to believe that you have the power within. The second is, when you do meditation, you connect with your spirit within. And when the connection happens, then everything happens, because then you realize what is within you and what your power has within you. Thirdly is to really know your gift, what comes naturally to you. If something comes naturally to you, you're going to get better and better and better at that. So then you will know that how much power you have. But if you do something you don't enjoy, you're not good at, then you'll feel that you don't have it in you to be successful, because you're doing things that are not cut out for you. That's not your natural talent that God has given you. Also, finding a cause that you're very excited about, a cause larger than self that you're very excited about. When you find a cause larger than yourself, then you get a lot of energy because you want to make a difference. You want to do good things. My son went to Botswana, and he really found that poverty and that hurt